Do 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 do. Microphone. I think I actually got it this time. Pretty sure I do got it. Pretty sure I do. Let's check. Yep, I got it. Hello, 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 everybody. I am back. Yes, after a long hiatus due to some family-related stuff and work-related stuff and health-related stuff, I'm back. We are back to doing this. It is Sunday night. It is 8:08 p.m. here in the Midwest of the United States. And we have gunpowder action. So, what are we doing? I am currently working on breaking stuff, apparently. But I'm working on the Masquerade Crossbone Full Cloth. This is one broken, destroyed bad boy right here. Broken and destroyed. Get it back. There we go. Got some broken stuff here. Obviously, some modification to the thrusters here. This is completely gone. This is all stuff from a random artillery cannon model set that I'm actually using for my Perfect Grade MK2. That's random extra bits from that. Got the thrusters. He has an eye patch. Broken V-pin. I did change out the skulls. Some work on the sword here. Obviously we got Screaming Skull there. But yeah, and then I've done a little bit of work on one of these. I'm kind of chipped and battered it so far. This one still needs done. And obviously the Fiesta Resistance for this kit, the peg leg. Can't have a pirate without a peg leg. Can't do it. It's just not cool. But yeah, I have these cables here right now. I actually have some other stuff I came across. This copper mesh tubing. I think I'm going to use that in place. Take these wires off. They're obviously not attached to the upper leg just yet. But then I still need to finish not breaking stuff again. But I finished doing all the weathering and stuff on the legs and the waist and one of the wings. Still got the skull to put there too. We'll do that tonight. We'll get her done. I still have the wings to do. Well, one set of the wings. So much stuff everywhere. But yeah, so we got one here. Got the... Told you, breaking everything. Back in usual form, I guess. Speaking of breaking everything, and since that's the kind of mood I'm in today, I actually broke my foot about 3 hours ago. 3 or 4 hours ago. Yep. Stepped off the couch wrong, stepped on top of one of the toys, twisted it, landed on it weird, snapped the bone in the side of my foot. Have not gone to the doctor yet, because we still have stream to do, and because I don't want to go to the emergency room. I'll wait till the morning and go to the actual doctor's office. But yeah, so I am definitely in the mood for breaking and battering stuff tonight. Which is good, because we got more carnage to do on this guy. Some blue tack here still. This will eventually not have blue tack on it. Broken pieces, some wiring and stuff hanging out. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We are going to finish kind of beating this dude up. Kind of chipping away at him slowly but surely. You know, I don't know if the chat box is working. Let's see. Testy, test, testes. Oh, it's supposed to be on screen. There we go. It is working. See how it is on. I had all this stuff figured out on Twitch. Now coming over here, I need to make sure it wasn't completely screwing up. That's what I get for switching. Oh, backplay. Sorry. Alrighty. Well, you can see stuff. Daniel J, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. Yeah, so we're gonna get to working on this thing. The chest I'm pretty much done with. Like I said, I modified the chest. I extended the skull, changed the skull on it. The capes that go down the front are all beaten and weathered and torn up. So those take place of most of the chest. So there's not really need to break that up. So I'm not too worried about that. And of course, we have his lovely pimp collar. Can't have a nice crossbone without his pimp collar. Set that down. Shove this stuff aside. Oh yeah, I did modify the knife as well, since usually he has the knife that comes out the back of his calf. If I can get it. Yeah, usually he has a knife that comes out the back of his calf. Since he is missing a leg, figured he would have this. I'm going to have it wrapped around one of his arms. I modified that, have a nice new chain for it. Took a blade off of a stray knife. So we got that all souped up. Alright, trucking away. We're going to get this other skull on as I start dropping more stuff. So what I'm using for this is a Games Workshop skull. They come with the nice Citadel skull pack. There's 340 skulls. But yeah, so that's what I'm using for this. And basically, I'm going to end up chopping off the back part of most of this skull here, where the mold line is, and then we'll fit it onto this here and glue it. So it'll look kind of like that. I got a jawline, or jawbone will get added on there. And we'll add that to it. You know, doing these beaten and broken kits is always fun, because I could just go in with my nippers, kind of cut everything. I don't have to be super careful. I will say though, as much as I like my beaten and battered kits, apparently people like the nice clean stuff, because that's what got the award at the National Plastic Model Surgeons competition. It was my super shiny Charzaku. I was kind of sad that it beat out the goof, because I'm really proud of that goof. I really like that thing. It is super cool. And sadly, I won't be keeping it either. Gentleman from Facebook is going to be buying it off of me. He liked it that much that he's picking it up for me. So I was glad I got to at least show it in one competitions. Next competition, there's one this summer up in Minneapolis, which is about 2.5 hours, 3 hours for me, that I'm going to try and do. My goal is to have this crossbone done, so I can take it to that. This piece is actually a birthday present for the head of my local gunpla group. He's obsessed with crossbones, so I'm doing this piece for him because I felt like it. It's not going to be on his birthday because his birthday was last weekend, but he's okay with that. I'm going to get this, and I have the whole base. Yep, it's for Dylan. It is definitely for Dylan. But yeah, so I'm hoping I can get to the one in Minneapolis, and enter this once it's all said and done. If not, well, then I'm sure I can always take the Charzaku up there and win some more with that stuff. But I do have the Perfect Grade MK2 Jungle Warrior Edition. I haven't thought up a good name for it yet, but anyways, it's gonna be all super beaten, battered, dirty, grimy, jungly covered mess, as if it was in like World War II. That I'm working on. That's actually for Riley's competition, over on Facebook. That's actually for his, so I don't have to have that done until September. So I've been kind of working on that at my own leisure, just kind of in the background, so that way it's not giving away anything for the other competitors. All right, I'm gonna have to pop this bad boy off here. I need to get the heavy duty file. This piece is rounded. It's super rounded, so man, I am just dropping shit. I don't have my parts dropper. Be up to like 10 already, but since it's super rounded, I need to file it down so that way I can get this to sit a little more flat. So I'm busting out my heavy duty super coarse file. You'll get that done. And I've realized I was planning on possibly streaming some of my diorama work for this piece, because it is a big base. I've posted some of it on Facebook. It's quite a big base. It's about 2 foot wide by 18 inches deep, and as of right now it's about 20 inches tall. And I haven't even mounted the crossbone on it, because the crossbone's going to be kind of flying off the top of the diorama. So it's going to be even taller than that, possibly. The problem is I don't have enough space on my desk to be able to actually live stream me working on that. So I would either have to move my computer out into the kitchen and do it off the kitchen table, or I could just film out in the kitchen, take my old iPhone 6, and go film it, and then I will just upload it to YouTube so people can see what I'm doing with that. I'm going to be trying a lot of new stuff with that one. I have some static grass applicators coming in just to make the grass like stand up and actually look like real grass as opposed to just like kind of turf on the ground. I'm going to be doing some water, like resin water effects, some deep sea effects. I'm going to have some stuff under the water, and the side of the diorama is going to be kind of cut away so you can kind of see that stuff. There's going to be an underwater cave with treasure chest in it. There's going to be a pirate boat. I'm still up in the air on what kind of pirate boat I want to do. I was thinking about doing a one-piece pirate boat just because they're kind of funny looking. But I don't know. I might have to do just a regular, like, Revel pirate ship and make it all ghost pirate or something. But then there's going to be a cave, an above-ground cave, and a waterfall, and lots of new stuff. Lots of new territory for me. But after doing that goof... Yeah, I know. Everyone keeps telling me to get Instagram. Maybe I will. Maybe this will be the piece that drives me to do it. Up until recently, I've never really felt my work was really that great. Really, like I said, I'm really proud of that goof. Doing the small building diorama and stuff on that is really kind of what made me want to start doing this, the dioramas and stuff more, and more of the scenic stuff with the model kits. You know, plus it's kind of nice because I can take one kit and then I can make it last a lot longer, so I'm not burning through kits left and right. Because I have a tendency to, I mean, I can sit down and build a master raid in one night. Exodus. Yes, I'm on YouTube now. I figured I would save myself a step, because I was really bad about not downloading off of Twitch and then uploading onto YouTube so people could find me on YouTube. And so I figured this way I would just cut out the middleman and just do it on YouTube, because I'm already there and people are more likely to run across my stuff. So it was just kind of cutting out a middleman. Made my life a little bit simpler. Little bit simpler. And I'm finicky with this dang thing. Alright, that's filed down flat. Plus, I have noticed too that a lot more model makers are on YouTube than they are on Twitch. And so there's a lot more of a community for model making and this kind of thing on YouTube than there is on Twitch. So, then we have a lot of great YouTube model makers. Luke Talon is from, don't quote me on this, but I want to say he's from Australia. He's from Scenic Railroad. he does just phenomenal diorama stuff. He's actually one of the ones that's kind of inspired me to step up. And then obviously we have Fox from Model Making Guru. And then we got Gross Models. We got Skipper Ted. I mean, there's a lot of great model makers on YouTube. So it's a better community. It's a lot more model friendly than what Twitch is. And here, you know, I don't have to worry about, you know, having so many viewers or so many followers to be able to qualify for certain things and stuff like that. Because I'm not trying to do this, you know, I'm not trying to make money off this. I'm not trying to you know, make this my full-time job, because I feel I would lose a lot of my passion for it, which is one reason I'm kind of getting out of doing commission work and just going to doing my own work and then selling it. But yeah, so I feel it would be a lot better for us as a community being here as opposed to over on Twitch. But yeah, for anyone else that's tuning in and maybe not have heard the initial message, I had posted something about it, I'll say yesterday or the day before that, on Facebook. I am not completely getting out of doing commissions. I'm just not taking as many as I have been. Over the last 8 months, I've done 14 different commission works, and it's kind of burnt me out. Haven't really been able to do what I've wanted to do. That goof was my first project for myself in a while, and it really kind of made me realize that I would rather do something like this where I can do kind of what I want and then give it to somebody, or, you know, for a present, or, you know, someone that really likes it, I can, you know, sell it to them. And if I'm not trying to make money off it, then I can sell it to them at a more reasonable price as opposed to a commission price. Because like something like this with this kit, and then obviously the diorama and the time and, you know, money for materials and stuff that didn't go into it, would be, you know, $900 to $1,200 for a commission piece. As where if I, you know, like with Dylan, he's getting this for free. But say I wasn't giving it to Dylan and someone else wanted it, and since I'm not doing it as a commission piece, I can say sell it for $200 or $300, and just kind of make back materials and not have to worry about the time on it, because it is a piece for me. It's a piece for me just spending time enjoying the model making hobby, and so it makes it a lot better. It's a lot more fun for me. I've kind of, I said I have that perfect grade MK2 to do, but I have a couple other projects after this one in mind. I want to do a Zygoc completely underwater, do like a giant, like maybe 1 foot by 1 foot resin cube, because I think that'd be really cool, and just have it all be an underwater scene. And then I have my massive undertaking of I want to do a Kshatriya, but I want to do the high grade one, just for space reasons. But yeah, just for storage space reasons and stuff, I want to do the high grade one, but I want to make it look just absolutely amazing. Kshatriya is one of my favorite Gundam, or like, I guess it's not a Gundam, it's a mobile suit, but it's one of my favorite mobile suits. And so I really want to do something sweet with that. Yeah, and unfortunately, Exodus, I have the no delay set up, and so the delay that does occur is just the natural delay. The 51 kit. Oh, is that the dress up kit? All I'm doing now here, guys, is I'm just kind of chipping up the skull some so it's not so clean. Oh man, Exodus, I'm sure you saw it, but Simp, or Simple Pro modeling materials, they do a lot of the like metal veneers and metal parts and stuff like that. They also do some really nice resin kits. They are going to start selling through Hobbytown, and Dave over at our local Hobbytown here in Ankeny is getting a bunch of their stuff in. It's going to be glorious. I know the first set of resin stuff is going to be the resin weapons, and if there's enough demand for some of the resin conversion kits, they're going to start trying to get those in. They can order directly from SimPro to get them in, which is sweet because they have a I know, dude. He posted that thing on Facebook about how they were getting them in. I got prices for all the stuff that they were going to have in their warehouse over the next month or two. And I was like, I will take one of these, one of these, one of these, and it was like $390 later. Yeah, spent way too much money. Yeah, way too much money. Luckily, I haven't spent it yet because he hasn't charged me for it yet. He's just getting it ordered, and then I can pay for it when I go and pick it up. And it's all going to come in at once, so... Yeah, I didn't help you with the GMC stuff, though, because my buddy over there sends me kind of a heads up of stuff that's coming. And so I would kind of give you, you know, as soon as it would get posted up, I would tag you in something. But yeah, definitely Ming over there has gotten a lot of my money over the last year or so. A lot more to come, hopefully. Hopefully we'll be getting new news here soon from Model Heart, aka Supernova, so we should be getting the next model by them here soon. MJH, which is Dragon Momoko, it looks like they're going to be releasing either another Strike Freedom or a Freedom new model, but they've been getting away from doing the 1/100 scale, and they've kind of gone back to some of their 1/144th, so I'm not sure what scale it would be. Hopefully it is a 1/100th Master Grade style, because that would be awesome. Alright. I'm just dropping shit all over the place. You know, I like Samuel Decal for some things, but his shipping cost fucking kills me. You know, some of his resin kits are nicely priced, but then you incorporate the shipping and stuff into it for some of the bigger boxes, and the price that he charges, and it doesn't necessarily outweigh if I buy it from somewhere else sometimes. But he is a good guy. I do like supporting him. I really wish he wouldn't have gotten out of the custom decals, because he was one of the few people that actually could make custom water slide decals. Dylan, I put it on the Facebook page. It's 8 o'clock on Sunday. No, actually, what it was is, so I had everything set up, and it was probably about 7:30. Then I got everything set up around 7:30. About 7:45, I tried to initiate stream, and it wouldn't. I'd hit go live on my my Streamlabs OBS, and it would just sit there and it'd have a loading circle and it wouldn't do anything. So then I had to shut everything down. I had to reboot everything. I had to then start everything back up, and by that point in time, it was like 5 after 8, so I just went live and had to mess with it from there. So I know I screwed up. Yeah, maybe I didn't want you to spy too much on your birthday present. Maybe that's what it was. I just need you to stick. Alright. We're going to cheat with this. I like cheating. I'm just going to use the super glue. And then I will use this to stick it down. And then add some more regular glue afterwards. Yeah, it's still looking at that now. Just kind of tacked on there. Yeah, the quality of stream on YouTube is a lot better. Yeah, so looking at this one's kind of flat. That one sticks out. So I'm going to have to hack that skull down some more. Hack it down. Like I said before, I like these dirty broken kits because I can just chomp away. Chomp, chomp, chomp away. You know, something else that might help with the way I sound, Exodus, is the fact that I'm not, like, sniffling and, like, hacking and coughing horribly like I did the last, like, well, basically since I started streaming on Twitch. With the antibiotics they have me on, that the antibiotics themselves are trying to kill me because I'm allergic to penicillin, and it's penicillin-based antibiotics, but then they have me on other shit to help counter the death of the penicillin. So it's really cleared up a lot of my nasally, congestive-y, death sounding. Blame it on the drugs. Well, you know, whatever makes you feel better, you know? Whatever makes you feel better. Yeah, and Dylan, sorry about not heading over last night. Got home and got the kids fed, and then I fell asleep on the couch. So I did see that you got your master grade Verca X3. Oh, you're is that the resin printer or the other one? I still have to get. I've been trying to find a decent fan that's not going to cost you like fucking $150. Just because I want it to be strong enough ventilation for you to be able to have that in there. But I do kind of have an idea of how I want to do it, and it shouldn't cost really a whole lot of money. I think the plexiglass is going to cost more than most of the metal, and I just need a sheet so you can have kind of a view inside of it when it's running. Alright, let's see. Not quite. It's almost there. I'm trying not to cut down too much and lose the jawbone feature, but might have to. Oh, okay. I got you. Well, that makes it even better because then I can just use a small piece of plexiglass, which will work out because I need to buy plexiglass for myself for my my deep sea project I want to do, my Zygoc. So I can always just buy a sheet for myself, and then I wouldn't have to charge you for the sheet of plexiglass to make the small window. And Dylan, I was thinking about it after I built that base and was piling up the foam and stuff. I might just have to build a wall rack or wall mounting brackets to go on that thing for you. That thing's gonna be beastly. I had to order a 10-pound box of Paris of plaster to make sure I had enough to be able to cover everything I need to cover with plaster and make all the rocks. And it's my goal for this week. I have these two rock molds. I have this big one, which I'm going to use for most of it, but then I have this little one. It has a nice flat rocks. I have to spend basically all week casting rocks, because I was adding it up, and I'm going to need about 20 of those, the little thin flat rocks, like 20 of those sheets full of rocks, and then 7 or 8 of the big ones, to be able to get the rock faces and stuff that I want, and cover the inside of the cave and everything else. So it takes about 12 hours. So I can basically like cast one before I go to bed, and then wake up and knock it out of the mold, and then cast another one real quick. Just pour it. Yeah, set one, and then when I get home from work, it won't be fully cured, but it'll be cured enough to where I can pop it out of the plaster, and then set another one. So I should be able to get 3 a day, if I time it right. They won't be fully cured when I pop them out of the mold, but the outside will be cured enough to be able to handle being popped out without completely falling apart. And if they break apart and stuff, it's not a big deal, because it's all going to be pieced together on the foam. And then after that, it'll be all the cracks and crevices and stuff will be filled in with more plaster, and then kind of detailed from there, scratched and scraped to make it blend in. If you guys haven't realized this already, but I'm lazy sometimes, a lot of the time, and I didn't want to have to like just cover the whole thing in plaster and then like sculpt all the rocks myself, because I am way too lazy for that. I will put lots of time and effort into lots of things, but sculpting rocks is not one of them. It's like I was watching a YouTube video of this guy that uses extruded styrofoam, kind of like the pink or purple stuff that I used. It's a little bit more porous, and he carves all of his own rocks and bricks for buildings out of that. Carves them all by hand, and places them all by hand, and I was like, nope, way too much. And his stuff's not small. He did an entire Homes Deep for like display piece for a bunch of miniatures from Lord of the Rings. It was nuts, and every single one of those bricks was cut by hand out of extruded foam. No, sir, not for me. Like I said, looked amazing. A lot of freaking work. There we go. That's better. Make sure they kind of line up okay, so this thing would stick. Stick. I have decided, since I have the massive box of 340 something odd skulls, for those that weren't here earlier, 340 skulls. Massive amounts of skulls. Like, just look at all those. Look at all the skulls. I got some bigger ones. Some of these. There's another tray of them over here. Like, massive amounts of skulls. And I bought this just so I could put that one skull there. I had to get this one from Dave, because there's only one of those on the kit. And then put this skull here and that skull there. Up there. See, and the funny thing is, if I would have just paid attention way back when I initially built this kit, I actually built the crossbone. I want to say it was my 4th or 5th kit when I got into building Gundams. So I've had it for 3 years or so, 3 years or better, just sitting around in the box. Never did anything with it. And the full cloth comes with the parts for the normal X1, and then it also comes with the parts for the full cloth. So the normal X1 has the nice looking skull on it, as where, if I can find them. I don't know what I did with them. I kept the skulls from the ones that I had. Anyways, so the X1 has the nice skulls on it. The ones they have you use for the crossbone are really derpy, kind of. They look almost like the skull from One Piece. So they're really derpy, just not very realistic looking. Well, built this, like I said, a while back. I had kept the other skulls, but I had actually used them on one of my other projects, which was the SD Newell Zeal that I'd done for the Gundam Builders Network SD build-off like 2 years ago. I'd used that because I was making a Outlaw Star themed model kit. But yeah, so I had actually wasted the good skulls, thus I had to go buy these. So that way, then I can make it look decent and not be all herpy-derpy. Or as Dave puts it with his Grimgar, his Grim Derp, because that has the derpy skull. Alright. I'm going to toss that way. That can go that way. Let me cut off this jawbone here. These are technically, I think, supposed to be for the orc heads. These are orcs here, orc skulls. I think that's what these are supposed to be for. Yeah, Exodus, these it's like $22 for that box of skulls, but like I said, there's 300 something on skulls in there. I didn't initially know what I was going to use the rest of them for, but I mean, they're skulls. Who can not have enough skulls? Nothing else. I have an entire Tau assault team that I need to be building at some given time or another, and I will put them on there. Alright, so I found this out. It's the last one when I did it over here. This jawbone doesn't fit this skull, so I have to try and bend this outward without breaking it. So wish me luck, since I am in the let's break and destroy everything mood today. Yeah, Dylan, you weren't here for that conversation. Got done building the base and stacking the foam and gluing it all and putting weights on it for the peg leg display. Came inside, I was opening the blinds and curtains and adjusting the curtain rods. Stepped off the couch weird onto my son's Catboy cat car from PJ Masks and broke my foot. So that's how my day's been going. See, and now there we are, skull with jawbone. Yeah, so I broke my foot a couple hours ago. Hey, it's been one of those days. I've had a hell of a month with my health, but I'm alive and kicking. That's all that matters. Oh yeah, Exodus. I have a habit of breaking shit in the weirdest ways. About 10 years ago, I snapped the bone from here to here, here to here, 3 bones in my wrist, and then a bone here, as you can see the scar from it, by tripping over a cat. That's right, folks. I tripped over a cat, completely demolished my hand. And now I tripped over Catboy. Oh my god, it's the cats. That's what it is. Cats are going to be the death of me. I just put that together. So, I have some plans for these pieces. But, since I only have one set of these, what I'm going to end up doing is so I want these, I don't know, I feel like they should be in motion, because like this guy's going to be coming, basically the plan is, he's going to be kind of flying off the top of the diorama, and he's going to have this and this arm kind of hanging back, like he's getting ready to swing it, and then he's going to have the chain knife, which is going to be partially wrapped around his left arm, and the chain knife is going to be fully extended as if he's throwing it. So it'll be kind of like that. I haven't decided how I want to do that. I don't know if I want to use a clear rod or if I'm actually going to just glue this and then kind of, because if I straighten it out and hit it with super glue, it'll straighten itself out and it should hold itself. But then I'll just have to kind of paint it up towards if it's rusted or gunky. Dylan, I might take you up on that if my plan doesn't work. So I have ordered a, I have a bunch of resin coming in, obviously because I need it for the base. But what I'm going to do is make a cast of these, and then cast them in resin. So then that way, once they're casted, but they're not completely dry yet, they're not completely cured, and it's still kind of bendable, I can kind of bend them the way I want. Because basically I want it to seem kind of like the ends, like they're in motion, basically, as opposed to being just directly straight out. So we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, and I can't get it to work, because I can do it with these, you just have to heat them up with a heat gun. And then they become kind of pliable, but I don't want to completely ruin them if I screw it up. So I'm going to make a cast of them first, and then try it. As I keep putting this thing together, I realize more and more how much hand painting I'm going to have to do on this thing, because the sword has really bad seam lines that run, because this is basically just a piece on either side and it snaps together. So there was a really bad seam line here, all the way down here, everywhere else. So I glued it all together and fixed the seam lines on the piece here. But now, so all this is going to have to be hand painted. The stuff behind the skulls is going to have to be hand painted. The skulls, obviously, are going to be hand painted. But yeah, so there's the skulls on this. You got one that's kind of broken and screaming. And then there's that one. Fixes herp to derp jaw. There we go. But yeah, I didn't know if you were using them for years though. So see, you're gonna have all kinds. Eventually, you have, you know, the X1, the X2, the X3. You have the full cloth. You're gonna have the resin one, and then you're going to have the Captain Peg Leg edition as well. I will say my next big investment for stream and just for my modeling stuff in general, well, I guess two, because I keep getting pestered about it. I probably will start an Instagram at some point in time. I'll be posting stuff on there. But I'm going to be buying stickers. I'm working with my friend Wendy, that Wendy Setso. She did the initial design for the Dirty Llama, the capped llama in the bathtub, to get a better picture. But then I'm going to be getting some nice stickers printed, so we'll have those. And basically, what I want to do with those, it's just start out small, but basically I want to be able to do giveaways for people. So, you know, like if we hit, you know, 50 followers or 50 subscribers on YouTube, you know, I can send out stickers to people, or you know, just random stuff like that. I can give them out at conventions, I can give them out at meetups, stuff like that. And then obviously a lot of my paint booths and other metalworking stuff that I do for people, I can slap a Dirty Llama sticker on there. And I want to get two sets done. One's going to be just the logo. It's going to say Dirty Llama Models. I have the llama in the bathtub. And the other one is going to be a llama with the char helmet, and he's going to be standing up, kind of like peeking out of a shower curtain. And it's going to say, "Who doesn't love a dirty llama?" You have a good source for decals, like custom decals, or just like decals, like the normal decals. Because if you have a source for custom decals, like I can make the design and they can print me some water slide decals, then yeah, we might have to talk. Yeah, eventually, Exodus, I wanted, if everything kicks off and everything becomes popular enough, you know, there's ways of doing hoodies and shirts that, you know, I just basically provide the logo and stuff information to the website, and then people can go to the website and order shirts or hoodies and stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, for stickers. Well, yeah, I'll have to get with you on that. I'm actually in the process. I'm talking with a buddy of mine that lives in Germany, because he makes his own water slide decals. But obviously, shipping from Germany to the United States is kind of even for just like a postcard, it jacks the price up quite a bit. But he's looking at getting a new printer. So I'm in the talks with him of possibly buying his old decal printer, and having him teach me how to print my own water slides. Which at that point in time, I would go to printing custom water slides for locals and friends and subscribers and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't do a full web page for it just yet, just because of not wanting to get overwhelmed with it all. But alrighty, so we have the wings, which we're gonna move on to next. I've been rambling for a while. I haven't got much work done. Sorry, guys. Yeah, blade's done. Obviously, this is beat and battered. It's not overly crazy, but it's there. We do got the big stray knife stuck through it. I can remove it for now. Eventually, it'll be, if I decide to keep it in there, I will paint it and it'll be in there. Now for this side. So I've been trying to make sure to keep kind of a balance, because obviously this side's all super broken here, his face. He's missing the leg on the other side. So I kind of figure with man, my throat. Sorry, work was just texting me. Don't need. Okay, cool. But obviously, I'm going to kind of look at this for a second, just so I can plan out damage. Yes, contrary to popular belief, I do try and plan some things. So since this is here, and his leg, which I haven't done all the damage to, I've done some to the kneecap, but this up here is going to get really screwed up because obviously where his leg was lopped off initially. So if you look at this, where this leg, so if the beam came across, say, this way, we're going to be missing a good chunk of this this fin here. So there's two ways we can do this, and there's two ways I'd like to do it, just because it gives the effect I want. If anyone's noticed, I've been using a really crappy, gunked up blade. And so basically, I'm going to take this and kind of mark out where I want to go. So I have an idea. And now I'm going to take this bad boy. I have a soldering iron and I have a wood burner, but I don't like using those because cutting through this much plastic, you get a lot of gunk on the tips of them, and they just don't ever work the same. So I just use an old knife. There's a reason I have multiple handles. My good one that I like, I can't use on stream because it's almost the same color as the mat. Now we're just going to come across. This probably makes Dylan cry a little inside watching me just hack away and beat up this thing. I'm just burning it and breaking it, Dylan. How does that make you feel? Probably makes you feel about the same way that Rob does right now about losing yesterday. He trimmed his beard. It's not as long as it used to be. He trimmed it. Yeah, actually, it's yesterday at the Surgicon. Dylan's daughter. I was I was Sir Longbeard, and then Dylan was Shortbeard, and then she said mean things about Rob. Can't remember, it was something about his beard and then bald head. It escalated very quickly with Rob. Yep. Make sure I keep that. You know, so Dylan, there's one part of this build that's going to be truly a new experience and a giant pain in my rear end. It's not the different techniques on the diorama I've never done before. It's not anything I'm doing to the mobile suit. It's the simple fact that I have to build baldy medium beard. But I have to build a miniature mechanical parrot to go with this damn thing. Which, there's somewhere on here. On the skull packs, there is some, yeah, there's bird skulls. So I'm going to use that head, that skull, as a reference for the size of the bird I'm going to build. But I'm going to build the rest of it completely out of freaking, completely from scratch. And so I need to get on and actually look at the mangas and see, because I know like some of the resin kits have the parrot and stuff like that, but I need to find a good reference for a mechanical parrot. No, if I was gonna do that, I would just order the resin kit that's coming out that's based off the metal build, so then I could just do it that way. Because the resin kit that I want to say Simp is doing, I don't know. I was talking to my Chinese buddy about it the other day, but they're doing a resin cast based off the metal build, from my understanding, and it should have the parrot in there. Alright, so that's all burnt up from there. We're going to go just start going Heyday. Yeah, that's right, folks. I just chopped and hacked and ripped that entire thing off. And now I'm lighting it on fire. Alrighty. There we go. It's gone. So I should probably clear stuff out of the way so people can see what I'm actually breaking. Eventually all this stuff, because this stuff is all loosey-goosey, eventually it'll all be glued. But, so what we're going to do now, or I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to pop this apart, if I can. If I can. Where'd you go, Spudger? You know, something I really need to invest in is they have, I call them a spudger, but it's basically it's a little rubber handle with a round kind of angled disc on the end, and it's a part separator, and you wedge it between two pieces and you pop it apart. I need to eventually invest in one of those things. But every time I find them, everyone's freaking sold out of them. And I'm not paying $20 for one, because most of the time you could find them 10 to 15 bucks. Alright, well, we got this bad boy out. We'll just hack away at it. And I didn't actually go into this thing with any plan, this entire kit, besides the peg leg. That was the only theory I had behind it, was this damn peg leg. And then I've just been randomly adding shit as I go. Like the goof I had pretty much all planned out from the get-go, you know. I changed some shit along the way, but I had a good plan on that. The only thing for this kit that I've actually had like planned 100% is the diorama. Like I know what I want to be in that thing. But as for the actual model kit, I'm just kind of breaking and hacking stuff as I go. Controlled chaos. Controlled chaos. That's what I'm going to call it. And then now I can bring in power tools. So this is actually it's a nail decorator. So it's not super powered like a normal Dremel, so you can't get like super good divots and stuff like that like you would if you had a really high powered Dremel. But it does enough for some of these chips and stuff to be able to round them out without completely destroying the other jagged parts if I was trying to get like a filing stick or something in there. So and this, folks, is why I have nice nails. Yeah, as if anyone would believe that. Alright, there's that piece. Set that aside. Put that back. Get another drink. Alright. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to... So obviously, where these were melted together, it's really stiff. And there's not a lot of clearance. I'm going to need some clearance. So I'm going to clean off this piece, because this has the better kind of melty, destroyed look. I'm going to clean off this piece, get my actual good knife. So I should probably keep my room clean. People can see what I'm doing. Get my good knife, so I can clean up some plastic. Uh-oh. I broke it. Oh no! I broke it! Alright, and then I'm going to actually burn some more of this. Do this while I think about it, because otherwise it won't get done. Just from drag lines here. Cut through this bigger chunk. There you go. Yeah, so for anyone out there that's like, oh, I like my battle damage Gundams, but I don't know how to do battle damage. This is how you do it. You just break shit. Just break shit. I mean, obviously, you want a method to your madness. You don't want to go whole hog, but I say that as I literally just ripped this thing in half. Oh, well. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. Good. Alright. Then clean up the center side. Then we're going to take, I know Justin take the kit and curb stop. Hey, my Leos that I've been gradually building and messing with as kind of a just a time passer for the big Gundam Wing diorama I'm doing for myself. That's a personal piece. I will never sell those. That diorama is going to be for me. That's my big display piece that eventually I'll get around to. But I've been building them, and then you take blackjacks and then you stick them in a coffee can with the Leos, and then you light them, and then you close the lid and you throw it, and they blow up and they blow it into pieces, and those are going to be scattered all over the ground. Like, that's how I did all the battle damage on those, because that's literally like you would touch a Leo with a bullet and it would blow the fuck up. But yeah, sure, Justin knows what these are. I got some brass screens here. These are from the tobacco outlet down the street. You get 3 of them for like 50 cents. What I'm going to do with these, don't confuse this with the meshing that I did on the goof. That stuff is thick and like you can bend it and it'll hold its shape. This stuff isn't as, this is a little bit more pliable, and it's not as big. This works well for like small bends and stuff, but the stuff I used on the goof, I need to be a little bit more rigid. So then the way we're going to do this, take some super glue. I really need to get some actual like modeling super glue that has like the nice little dispenser on the end. And that stuff's like $4 a bottle, as where this is like 90 cents. Just slather it all in there. I'm going to take 2 of these. I'm going to stick them, if I can not get my finger in it. Actually, one might work. There we go. Tweezers. Some more glue. Basically, I'm just going to hold this down for now. Doesn't look like much from this side, but what we'll do once this is dried, once this is dried, and the glue has fixed this nice little circle in place, we'll actually grab it with the tweezers and start kind of yanking it and pulling it. And basically, once it's painted and everything else, it'll look like metal fibers, obviously, because it is metal fibers, but it'll look like the metal pieces and stuff, part of the structural that's been just kind of left hanging from the inside. But the stuff is, like I said, this stuff is really thin, so that's why I like using it as opposed to like the grating that I used for the goof, or some of the other like brass or steel grating you can get from like your local hobby shops and stuff, because that stuff's a little bit thicker than what this is, because they want you to be able to like bend it into like a 90. So if you're doing something like the groin piece, the dick piece that I did on the goof, where his dick lights up from, that has to have that nice 90-degree bend in it. So this stuff doesn't hold that shape like that. Dick piece. For all I know, YouTube doesn't allow the word of dick or piece in the same conversation, and I'm going to get banned. Dick piece. There, I've said it like 10 times now. So something I'm thinking of uploading onto the YouTube pages. I have some of the footage from the last Extra Life stream that we did, where I was eating Maruga Scorpion and Carolina Reaper peppers. Might actually have to upload that so people can watch. Oh man, I want one of those fucking Kotobukiya Anubis pieces so bad. I just can never find one that's not grotesquely expensive. For any of those that didn't know, I am absolutely obsessed with Egyptian culture and Egyptian mythology. Absolutely love it. I have giant, sorry, not blue, giant Anubis piece on my arm here. My daughter is named after the Egyptian god of chaos. So yeah, huge Egyptian mythology fan. Yeah, Zone of Enders was a good game though, man. Like, Oh, come on, Dylan. You're talking to me. Like, I am the bootleg master. I don't care if a model kit actually needs work. Like, where'd he go? Where's he at? He's somewhere. Hold on. 1 second, guys. This dude. My little, yeah, Zone of Vendors does have an anime series. It's pretty good, actually. So this guy has more putty and plaster on him than any Gundam model I've ever done. Any. And this is supposed to be, like, this is the 30th anniversary, like, reprint, redesign, to where this was supposed to be, like, a good model kit. You know, you'd snap the legs together, and there was, like, you know, 1/8 of an inch gap between the two pieces because the plastic was so freaking warped and, like, just missing stuff. Like, so when it comes to actually having to put work into a model kit, that doesn't bother me, because I like doing these you know, like Machining Krieger kits and some of the old, like, Revell kits and stuff like that. Like, I like those, but they take a lot of work. It's not like a Bandai kit where you're just gonna be able to snap it together. Granted, a lot of Kotobukiya kits are that same way. You know, I have a couple of the frame arms, because I have one that's a knight, because it came with this giant fucking two-handed sword, and I really liked it. But it's just so much work to them. Nothing fits right. There's always gaps in pieces. The plastic warping is just bad. It makes you really, doing stuff like that makes you really appreciate the quality of Bandai stuff and the work that Bandai puts into making sure that their snap fit kits are snap fit, and there's not huge issues with them. You know, you would hope that companies that know that people are going to have to put, you know, use glue and everything else on all the kits, that would at least make it to where, like, when I glue two pieces together, they match up. But, like, on that Fireball, my little dude, like, there was pieces that had to be glued, and he would glue them, and there would still be a giant gap in, like, the middle, because the plastic would just, like, arc backwards from the molding process and stuff. So, definitely doing other stuff really makes you appreciate, you know, Bandai's quality of stuff. I mean, even, you know, I am the king of Dragon Momoko and, like, Supernova kits and, you know, third-party kits and stuff, and I still, like, those kits take work, but, you know, it's coming from someone that does other types of models besides Bandai models. Like, the amount of work you need to do on those things isn't really extreme. The problem that a lot of people have is, like, people that only do Bandai Gunpla will get a Dragon Momoko kit and then not know how to do the stuff necessary, you know, the seam melding, or, you know, the fillings, and, you know, filling gaps, or, you know, having to drill. They complain because they have to drill a couple peg holes, you know, to make something fit. That's just, for most people that do other models outside Bandai, that's just common model making necessity, you know what I mean? Like I said, all we're doing here now is just kind of pulling this stuff apart. But yeah, so if I could ever get my hand on a Zone of Vendors kit, man, I would. I'm willing to pay a good amount for them, just because I know they are rare. But at the same time, like, paying for what they are, I wouldn't pay the, you know, $160 that some people are asking for them. You know, if I got find one for $80, I'd gladly pay it. Alright, so let's see if I can't zoom this in a little bit so you can see better. So here we have kind of what we're going for. Obviously, once it's painted, some of this will be jagged and out of the way. Once the pieces are on, and then I'll add also a couple, like, wires and stuff like that in there once it's all said and done and everything's painted. basically the way I'm going to end up handling this one is I'm going to, once I get all the modifications done to it, I'm going to prime it and then completely reassemble it, so that way I can pose it the way that I want to pose it on the diorama, and figure out, because basically I need to figure out how I'm going to hold it up on the diorama, because I think this toe is going to be touching the ground, kind of like this, and then he's going to be kind of like pushing off the edge of the cliff off into the air. So what I might end up doing, once I figure it out, is I'll glue everything, the inner frame in place, but then I'll probably put a rod. So once it's glued and everything's glued, I'll make sure everything's super glued, like not super glued, but like I'll make sure everything's glued really well, make sure everything's nice and tight, put clamps on it, and then keep the clamps on it, and then I'll drill a hole through the foot, through the ankle, and up into the leg, and then I'll put a nice size steel rod into it, to where then the only thing that you might see is the steel rod from like the middle of the foot down into the dirt, which that could be covered and turned into like making it look like he's stepping on a tree, or something like that, you know what I mean? So that'll be how it's going to be held up. I don't want to have to use a rod to where everyone can see the entire rod and stuff like that. I don't want to have to use a display base stand or something. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to get him posed the way I want, and then make sure that I can get a rod somewhere and then hide it. I'm not going to break it. I'm just going to drill a hole through it and ram a rod into it. It's going to be fucking Captain Pegleg Ramrod. But that was my other thought, is I could honestly glue this into place and just drill a hole in the bottom here, and then fit a nice piece up into there. You know what I mean? Because I already had to hollow out a bunch of this to get stuff to sit right, and then I had to hollow out a bunch up here to sit right. Team Ramrod. This is Car Ramrod. Yeah. But yeah, Dylan, Exodus is right though. Like, until you just jump in and do one, like, and see what it takes, like, it's not gonna be. I would not suggest doing a Debon. Most recently, I have quite a few Debon kits, and I've never actually built a Debon kit. So the other day, I just kind of wanted. I was watching. What was I watching? Oh, the new season of I'm Nerdy. Don't judge me. Or judge me, I don't care. I was watching the new season of The Amazing Adventures of Sabrina. And I just wanted something to kind of build and work on without having to like really concentrate, which is where I do a lot of my like snap building. So I can just remove nubs and stuff. And so I have a Jesta cannon, and I was like, oh, I'll just build that. Because I haven't built a Jesta cannon before. Yeah, no, I got through the backpack and 2 of the weapons, and I was like, nope, screw this. Tossed everything back in the box, put it back away, and I probably won't ever touch another Debon kit again. They are horrendous. Absolutely, utterly horrendous. There's no other way to put it. Like, the plastic quality was crap. It was oily. It was greasy. Like, I've done a lot of third-party kits, you know, and it's just, I've never had an experience like that with a third-party kit. So that's just, trying to put this together, I can realize there wasn't, I need to remove some of the chunking down here from the melting, but yeah, that kit was just, it was horrendous. Like, even Devil Art, so I have the Devil Art Provenance Gundam, and that's the only kit that Devil Art has ever done, and that kit was still better than that Debon one I had. Part of it was, I think that the Just Cannon was an older kit of theirs, but I just don't know. I've seen some people's Debon kits, and they're really nicely done, but every Debon kit that I've seen that's nicely done has a custom paint job, generally custom detailing, stuff like that, so you know the person put a decent amount of work into it, excuse me. And I just, for something, you know, that I was trying to sit back and kind of relax and watch a TV show, I was just like, I'm not picking that up right now. I just couldn't do it. Hopefully your unicorn is not that bad. Hopefully. But like, I mean, I can say, because like I've built every Supernova kit that's out on the market right now. You know, whether that be the blue version or the green version of Ultron, I built both of those. I've built every single one of their kits outside the Wing Zero at least 3 times for commission work and stuff like that. The heavy arms I had the same experience with every time I did it. Just the heavy arms from Supernova, amazing kit, amazing. I mean, there was a couple fitting issues, but it was simply a matter of like I would take my knife and just kind of ream out the peg hole, you know what I mean? Just kind of twist it in there, and then everything fit together. Yes, Exodus, I will shoot me a message on Facebook with your mailing information, and I'll mail it out to you tomorrow. So, since you don't ever come to town and actually hang out with us, you know. But yeah, but so then for like the first Supernova Ultron and the first Supernova Sandrock I built were absolutely horrible. The headpieces didn't fit. There were pieces of the arms that just wouldn't snap together, wouldn't stay together. The fitting of the frame was god-awful. But then I built, and that was for the first printing of both those kits. But the second printing of those kits were absolutely phenomenal. They went back and actually changed their molds and redid them, and they came out phenomenal. Obviously, there's still some fitting issues, but it's along the same lines as the heavy arms, where it's just a matter of like kind of, you know, boring out the peg hole or something. It's nothing crazy. Yeah, the one that you have is one of the first print ones. So, because that's the one you got from me, and that's one of the first print. That wasn't my kit specifically. I got it in a trade, but the guy I got it from had it. He showed me the receipt, his email receipt from when he'd purchased it, because I was curious on if it was a first run or a second run, and that was a first run. So that's part of the issue with that. No, don't glue on there. I wanted to glue the little yellow piece on for the vent, and now I managed to glue the pieces together. Don't do it. There you go. Fixed it. Yeah, and I have to say, Supernova's take on the Ultron, with the dragons coming off the back and stuff as opposed to the arms, was just, I love that design. There's a reason that I have 3 of those Ultrons for myself. So I have one that I'm doing in my Wing Endless Waltz diorama. That's going to be just your typical Ultron, as if it appeared from Endless Waltz, the movie. And then I have another one that I'm actually going to take the dragons from the third kit and actually mold them to the one kit. So there's 4 dragons coming off of it. And then I'll end up using the third one, the body, the actual mobile suit of the third one, for a kit bash that I'm eventually going to get to for all of the mobile suits from Tears of a Loser. So I'm going to have the heavy arms and stuff that is modified, all the modified Gundams from after the TV show ended. Make molds of that and sell them off. Alright, so that one's done. Work on this. So this one we're not going to go as extreme on. So obviously I know this would have been, we're just going to maybe just gouge this. It didn't necessarily go through all of that. We'll just kind of gouge this one. Let's see. Usually I do this stuff with the pencil, but it's all going to get broken anyways. You know, it's funny, Justin, because a lot of the Dragon Moko kits, like the Talgies, they come with like 3 or 4 of the eye sets, which is really weird. I don't know why. And then I want to say the Supernova Heavy Arms came with 2 of them. Yeah, like the Dragon Moko Talgies 3 has 4 of the green casted pieces needed for the eyes, and then it actually has 1 clear one, if I remember correctly. Clean up all this. There you go. Cleaned it up. It's because their dealers take the ones they're supposed to come with. Possibly. Alright, so now we need to, obviously this side, I mean that just looks like I took a pair of nippers, so we need to make it look kind of like that. So how we're going to do that is just go through and kind of, I basically just go through an angle from the edges and kind of round, not round, but shave the edges to where it doesn't look like it's just cut completely square. Oh man, I can only imagine, Dylan, you had... I can't believe how much of that cake actually got eaten, though. Justin, did you see the pictures of the cake on the Facebook group? Because there was a lot of cake, man. There was definitely a lot of cake. Oh, it was so good, though. Oh, I'm supposed to be dieting, and I put off trying to eat a piece of that damn cake all fucking day. And I finally gave in. I couldn't do it. Alright, so put away. Don't need that one. Oh, yeah. I mean, you had a good 3 cakes worth of scrap at home. It wasn't portly. No one around here is portly. Exodus, no. I've been having some health issues as of late. UTI, urinary tract infection. There's something going on with my blood pressure. My resting blood pressure was like high 140s over like high 110s at a resting rate, and so there's a lot going on. They've been trying to figure it out. Doctors didn't look at my previous medical history and kind of freaked out because they thought part of my kidney wasn't working, even though that part of my kidney is just not even there. But no, it wasn't all because you called me portly. Part of it was. That's what got me started thinking about it. But no, I have 2 kids. You know, my goal is to be there for them long term, and so it was one of those things that after, especially my blood pressure stuff, like really got to me. So I need to get back on not being so unhealthy about stuff. But yes, it's all because you called me portly. It's all your fault, Justin. All your fault. I cry about it at night. I cry about it. But Justin, don't take me saying that I cry about it as a bad thing. Because I have to think about you, and then I cry. So I'm still thinking about you, though. So just take glory in the fact of I'm thinking about you at night as I cry myself to sleep. I don't actually cry myself to sleep. Nothing for saying like a poor man. Exactly. Well, you know, it's funny because you actually got brought up at the convention yesterday, because Dylan was, you know, we were talking about we need to get more people involved in doing these competitions and stuff like that, because otherwise it's gonna be basically me and Rob like fucking going at it every time we have one of these things come up. And Dylan had brought up the fact of, you know, there's probably only 3 or 4 of us that could really compete, and you were one of the ones that we were talking about, you know, like you actually know how to use an airbrush and use one and stuff like that, so you could actually, you know, be able to put something in to compete with Rob and I. Dylan will get there if he ever gets around off his ass of learning how to use an airbrush. Oh, I know you do, and that's why I was saying to them, like, you're one of the ones that, like, I want to get you involved in it too. Like, once we can start getting more people, it's just a matter of, you know, we have so many people in our local group, and a lot of people are afraid of painting, and a lot of it comes from the fact that they're afraid of messing up their model kit. And I get that. You know, you go out and you spend $45 on a piece of plastic, you don't want to do this to it and then go, oh shit, I can't fix that. You know what I mean? Like, people don't want to do that. They have the value. A lot of people aren't like, you know, like what Rob or I are. But, you know, they're not like what Rob or I are, where, you know, we can take this and do something with it. You know what I mean? Or have that confidence level. But it's a matter of just trying to get people to start somewhere, you know. Start doing the detail painting. That's why, you know, for a lot of my giveaways and stuff, like I try and, for the meetups, I try and do not just a model kit, but stuff that, you know, would put someone out of their comfort zone. You know, we did obviously the beginner kit that had tools to get people used to using the tools. We had the detail kit, which had the different paints and paintbrushes and stuff like that for just basic detailing. We had the Just a giveaway, which had all the water slides and the stuff to do water slides properly, the micro set, the micro sol, brushes, and stuff like that to go with it. But, you know, I that's my goal with the giveaways that I do for the local group, is I want to try and get people out of their comfort zone. So I've actually been looking. I'm not doing anything for April, because April's my birthday, so I'm spending the money I would typically spend on a giveaway for myself, because I'm selfish like that. But I was looking into May, and I might do it's just a cheapo, but it's a master airbrush with a compressor and a airbrush cleaning kit and some paints, and it's like $65, but it has a compressor and everything you need outside the paint booth to be able to get started, you know, in airbrushing. Alright, so there's that one. Obviously you can see just doing a little bit of filing and sanding. Midsummer? Oh man, I don't know. I have vacation and stuff I'm taking this summer, so I'm going to have some time. I'm going to be gone. I am actually thinking about taking my camera and stuff with me, so then I can I should, I might do some live streams from our cabin. Stuff like that. It wouldn't be any Gunpla stuff, but it'd just be a quick, maybe 15-20 minute live stream saying, hey guys, how's it going? You know, this is what I'm up to, type thing. Oh man, as soon as you get that SLA up and going, I'm gonna be bugging you like crazy. There's gonna be stuff that I want, so lo and behold, trust me, I will. If I have to just buy you entire things of resin, then to print me stuff, then I will. So, one second, fellas. If I have to start buying resin by the gallon, I will, man. Like, I got no issue with that. Alright, so we got that one. I'm gonna do just a couple little marks on the inside here. I've already been messing up my good blade. Where's my bad one? I've already been for the hard resin I need for like water and stuff like that for the dioramas. I've been buying that up in bulk lately from Hobby Lobby because they have a 40% off coupon you can use daily. And so I go in and buy one, and it cuts the price almost in half, so it makes it a lot cheaper. Paying like 14-15 bucks for it as opposed to almost 30. Like I said, my next big 100, holy shit, dude, that thing would be huge. It'd be massive. And if you want to go big, you know, we can come up with a design for a 1/100 size Neo Zeong and go that route. I mean, I have an entire garage. Oh, perfect grade Neo Zeong. Or perfect grade Denebron. Oh, Jesus, no. We're not doing a perfect grade Neo Zeal. Because I think the HG one is a 1/500 scale or 1/600 scale. Like, the Neo Zeal in full scale makes the Neo Zeong look like a freaking cupcake. You know, you wouldn't even have to do a full perfect size for the mobile armors. If you just did a 1/60th scale bust, that would be absolutely amazing. I do. It is.
Do you want this window open?
Please. Thank you. Oh yeah. No, I know. The Dendro and the Zeal are both giant things. They're both massive. Alrighty, what do I want to do to the outside of this? Obviously, we need to break this. I need to break this. None of the other ones, this one's all chipped up and eaten. These are all chipped up and broken, so none of these are just outright gone. So there we go, outright gone. Thank you.
You're welcome.
that was the wife. No, we don't even have to crank one out, Justin. If we can come up with the schematics to be able to 3D print the individual parts to eventually do a full-scale perfect grade, say, even like, say, you know, Xeon or something like that, I will buy it from you. I will pay for the materials. I will pay you for your time and effort. And then I will put the fucker together and paint it and customize it. We don't even have to crank out a bunch of them. We just need to do one so we could be like, look what the fuck we did. Screw everyone else. Iowa Gundam builders are the best. Yes, then we will take it on convention tours. You know, or, you know, maybe one of these other third-party companies decides they really like it and wants to buy all the plans from us, and then we could sell it to them, and Justin can make a bunch of money, and then he can pay us royalties for helping him out. Man, I have a flatbed truck at work. Yeah, I have like a 12-foot flatbed at work, so we can get it wherever we need to go. Alright, so there's... zooming is bad. Yoink. So there's that piece. All hacked up, broken, battered. And then obviously, this piece went through, cleaned it up some. Well, I mean, we do know quite a few, like, car guys in the group, you know. If we do this right, we could make a full, perfect grade scale Dendro that is actually mobile, if we do it correctly. Then we could just drive around in it ourselves. Yes, motorized. I realized this piece was outside this was way too clean. No, screw. I mean, you can get go-kart motors and shit that are better than that. I mean, if we're going to build a perfect grade Dendro, and then we are going to motorize said perfect grade Dendro, we then have to armorize said Dendro as well. You can't have something that big and that motorized and not have something in it. Like, it just can't happen. Exactly, just like battle robots. except for a lot bigger. Yeah, see, we'll just have to come up with all kinds of shit to put in this thing. Adulthood bad influences, I know, right? I mean, I have access to all the metal and stuff like that. Oh, I just pulled crap out of it. I have access to all the metal stuff. I know how to weld. And I'm sure someone around here knows how to do electronics. We have plenty of people that could do the armatures on it. You know. You know, if we could find a way to actually make it work, I would not have a problem investing money in that. Because if we can get it to work and it's armed, we could sell it to Japan. They would make something even better out of it, and we'd get a bunch of money. You know, Japan right now is building, you know, life-size scale Gundam models, but they don't do anything. If we could build a life-size, you know, a perfect grade scale Dendro that actually functions. There you go. Yeah, just let them license it, and then... See, the problem would be is we'd get about halfway through done making it, and then the U.S. government would come in and be like, oh, we're taking this for military purposes. Yeah, it's supposed to move and stuff like that in some extent. So you guys want to know the other great thing about beat up destroyed kits? I don't have to clean that up. All of that extra scratching, all the rough edges, I don't have to clean that up. It's so nice. There's this part of me that never wants to go back to doing like clean builds again, kind of like what my perfect grade, or not my perfect grade, my master grade Charizard was. But apparently that's what people like. It does save time on making it pretty, because all the scratch marks make it pretty. But yeah, I still, going back to the competition yesterday, like, I'm still surprised that the Goof didn't take it. Like, I thought it was going to be between the Goof and then Rob Sotheby, you know. I didn't think that Zaku was going to be anywhere in there. That was definitely a big ass surprise for me. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I said I wasn't expecting the Charizard to take it. I was expecting it, like I said, between the Goof and the Rob Sotheby that he had there, because his Sotheby is fucking gorgeous. The best in Bandai one, the win for that was limited on judging. You know, because I think Barry was, because since he was the sponsor for that, he was the big judge on that. But the best of sci-fi, obviously, that felt kind of good to win. Okay, yeah, so yeah, best of Bandai was only Barry, so that one was kind of a toss up, you know what I mean? But yeah, the best of sci-fi and space, or space and sci-fi, was actually the win that I was really surprised about. Like, I didn't expect to take that one home at all, especially with some of the other stuff that was in there, because like that hover car was really nice. The mono eye. Yeah, but that was for an out-of-box build, and like the Dendro that was there was like, it's nice because it's big and has presence, but just looking at it compared to the other out-of-box stuff, it wasn't necessarily the greatest. I'm definitely for next year's, I'm going to be doing some of the diorama, doing something for the diorama category. So, and it's going to be Gundam related too, just so all the snarky old guys that only build World War II dioramas can be grumpy about it. Yeah, some of those kits weren't out of box. There was some detail painting and stuff on some of those, which, I mean, depending on what out-of-box terminology you're going by, it might qualify, but looking at their rule set on their page for what out-of-box considers, like, it's not technically out-of-box, so... Alright, and then I need my scriber. Pulling out my Tamiya scriber. This will be one of the few applications I'll actually end up using this thing for anymore. I have some of the MadWorks chisels coming in. I did get this guide. So I bought this fucker thinking it came with the actual .1 blade that it's shown with from USA Gun Store. It shows it with the .1 blade in it, and even the packaging that this thing comes in has the .1 blade, like a spot for it. But I bought this thing for $28 from USA Gun Store, and it did not have the fucking blade in it. Super pissed. But this is just an X-Acto carving blade, and so it basically slides in there. You lock it into place at the distance you want, and it's for scribing panel lines. You basically would run it down, adjust to your distance. You run it along the edge. So I got the actual chisels that go with this piece coming, and then I have a full set of BMC chisels on their way as well, with a handle for those. So I won't be probably using this and my other ones for very much longer. Gonna get kind of serious about adding the panel lines and stuff. They're nice just for judging the distance. So like if I can set the distance that I need and just scribe a straight line, as opposed to busting out the tape and everything else. With this piece, all I'm doing is I'm just going to rescribe the lines that are already here from the different panels. Basically just going along these edges and stuff, like here. Just to deepen the lines, so that way after it's primed and everything else, they still stand out really well. I have my my scribing 101 guide that is up currently on the YouTubes. Once I get my other chisels and stuff like that in, I'm gonna be redoing an entire like more advanced scribing technique, where I show better how to get the proper layout of all the panel lines, additional panel lines, and stuff like that. Just based off of what I do at work if I'm laying out a metal ductwork fitting, and then how I would transfer things from one section to the other to mirror a piece of ductwork, using geometry and compasses and stuff like that. So it's a lot more advanced guide, but it's quick and easy if you have like 2 or 3 compasses, or scratch-alls. So it makes it pretty quick. I say with this, I'm just going in and just kind of doubling down on the panel lines that are already there to help make sure once everything's primed and stuff that the panel lines aren't really lost behind everything. Ooh, itchy nose. That's the big thing with panel lining too, is like when you look at something flat, if you add a panel line to it, like say I was to add something like across here, it would look three-dimensional if I just added that line, but as soon as you turn it, if you don't extend that, oh yeah, no, I use geometry and trigonometry in building dioramas and gunpla and stuff all the time. My whole thing is like, it's something I, especially with my daughter, like I try and express, like, you know, when it comes to the classes at school, the things you really need to pay attention to are stuff like math and English. English because of learning, obviously the proper way of writing and speaking and stuff like that, to interact with people in an everyday basis. I get in today's day and age, we still use, like a lot of people use slang and everything else, but in a professional setting, you still want to be prim and proper. But then mathematics are just huge, with everything you do, no matter what. Even if you're just working as a counter person at Burger King, mathematics still comes in handy. But then, yeah, like what I do for a living with the HVAC stuff and like actually doing blueprints and drawings and, you know, laying stuff out and building custom ductwork and stuff like that, I use trigonometry and geometry and calculus and stuff all the time. So it's definitely an important thing in life. You know, the funny thing is, like, so we have a gentleman at my work that just became a U.S. citizen 2 years ago. He's from Bosnia. He knows more about U.S. history than 2 of the younger guys that just graduated from high school like 3 or 4 years ago. Dylan, if you were to ever like call up my work phone and have me answer my work phone for you, you'd be amazed at the way I sound, because I am completely 100% professional. Like every time I answer my phone, like it's ridiculous. And then like, so people will talk to me on the phone and hear me, and then when they finally meet me in person, they're like, what happened? Because I definitely, over the phone, when I'm being prim and proper, don't sound anything like I look. My issue is I have a sailor's mouth. I swear a lot. A lot. This is out of focus again. What the hell's going on? I didn't hit the damn transition button. Didn't hit the transition button. Alright, so that's broke. Where does this piece go? That goes there. That piece is looking good. Battered, broken. This piece goes there. That customer's at the counter else calling what the fuck. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure they probably like that a little bit more than the prim and proper. You know, back during my my restaurant days when I was a chef, I was the atypical jackass chef. I guess that doesn't really surprise anybody. But as soon as I would answer a phone call for the restaurant, all my line cooks would start laughing because I was just so polite. Unless I knew exactly who it was, and then it was generally a thanks for calling Slam's Pizza, where you kill them, we cook them. Alrighty. Now, we got that. This piece technically sits this way. That's the back side. But, still super clean. What do I want to do? Those. I'm trying not to make them look too asymmetrical. You know what I mean? So do a little bit of chipping and breaking over here. Still got my gold star. Gold star. I'm still mad because I guess you can't see it because the chat's in the way, but this side of my mat's still dirty. I haven't cleaned it up since last time I streamed when I was doing the machining Krieger kit. It was splattering paint everywhere. Yeah, especially now that we're over on YouTube. Anyone you guys know, you know, just get them to come over and subscribe. Once we hit 100 subscribers, here on YouTube, we get a custom URL. Which means instead of having the randomly generated URL that pops up every time I go live, we will have a consistent URL that people can save to their browser and stuff like that, and then people will be able to constantly access it that way. We'll have a custom URL to the stream page. That's really about the only perks. And you get stuff if you get more subscribers after that, and blah blah blah. But that's the big thing right now is if we can get 100 subscribers, we can get a custom URL. Woohoo! We'll be fancy then. Fancy. Super fancy. Jeez, 10 o'clock already. I don't even know how I'm tired. I said fed the kids and stuff, and sat down to hang out with them last night for a little bit, and then I passed the fuck out on the couch. And the wife got home and woke me up. I went and laid down in bed, and then I slept all night until like 9 o'clock this morning, which is really late sleeping for me. So I slept for like almost 13 hours. 13 to 14 hours. I don't know how I'm tired. Don't know. I had to say, Dylan, with the new internet, how's it going? Since you got those interwebs. Granted, I guess the previously when we were on Twitch, it wasn't about your internet necessarily. It was about Twitch being friggin' stupid. You're still using mobile data to watch, jeez. Figured, especially with you being at home, because you're working days right now, because of your training for your new job. Well, that's good. I'm glad you've had zero issues. Like I said, I think switching over to YouTube over Twitch was a good choice. Like Twitch, every time they update something, has a giant issue. Something breaks, something goes wrong. Like the chat's been up all night, no issues. At least for me. Like I don't know if it's cut out for anybody else, but the chat's been over on this side of the screen all night for me. It's been updating as people have been posting. I haven't had any issues with that. We had issues with that pretty much the entire time I streamed on Twitch. You know, like never able to get it to work right. And that was all an issue on their end. It wasn't on my end. You know, we had some stream issues when I first started, and that was from my end, but that was my internet, and that got fixed rather quickly. And you know, it's just, like I said, I definitely think switching over is for the better. Oh, nice. It's actually not that big. Like, I mean, it's big, don't get me wrong, but so we could make it into a drone. We could do a drone pretty easily with that. You wouldn't be able to do like a car with it, but you could definitely do a drone. Yeah, it's funny, Dylan, because I completely skipped over your comment of you like your crossbone Gundams to be clean, and here I am making a crossbone for you, and it's gonna be completely destroyed and broken and battered. I could have just made this thing look like a fucking Ferrari, and you would have been happy. Too bad. It's not what I do. It's not my style. Not my style. I like the dirty, grungy, well used. I don't like the right off the factory line style design on mobile suits. Actually, I'm going to add some more to this first. Fire, 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 fire. Yeah, the shape of it might prevent a large drone, but you never know. Just depends on how many fucking fans we put in it. Nice. Well, once this kit's all said and done, and the display's all said and done, if you really don't like it, then I'll keep it. I don't have to give it to you. If you really don't like it when it's all said and done, I will go back and do you a Ferrari crossbone full cloth. But I think once all said and done, I think you'll be pleased with it. Yeah, the special coating one, I wouldn't even buy it, dude. Like, I get you like crossbones, but I wouldn't waste your money on that thing. It's the same thing as the regular full cloth. It's just the weird, like, pearlescent plastic, which, as you saw with the high grade one, it's similar to that, but in a mass grade form. So I wouldn't do it personally, but I'm one of those people, I don't buy into the clear kits, I don't buy into the special coating kits, stuff like that. And a lot of that is because, like, the special coating, like metallic kits, I can do that. I can buy the regular kit and paint it metallic like that myself and probably get a better finish on it. One, because I don't have all of the fucking nub marks from not being able to actually clean up nub marks correctly because of the special coating. Two, because the paints you're going to use are going to be better than the mecha plating and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know, it's one of the reasons I don't buy a whole lot of, like, P-Bandai stuff, because a lot of P-Bandai stuff, like the new Sniper 2 that's coming out, the new P-Bandai Sniper 2, all that it is a recolor. I could buy a regular Sniper for $30, or like a regular Sniper 2 for $30, and then paint that myself, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't do it. People that build out a box, I get it. That's who they're shooting towards. But yeah, so, like, I don't know. I wouldn't do the special coating one, but that's just me personally. It's not even like it's the nice special coating either. It just looks kind of like the crappy, like, weird pearlescent shit they did with the Perfect Grade Wing Zero. Oh yeah, the X0 and that silver is, oh, it's weird. You know, I'm trying to think of another kit that uses that same awkward silver. Because, yeah, it is definitely a weird, awkward... That finish on that's kind of weird. Yep. Yeah, that's the GBF one. I'm pretty sure, Dylan, that's the one that you built not too long ago, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it has that weird pearl color in the plastic, and then it just screws everything up when you try to remove nubs and stuff from it. Like, it's just not cool. All right, move a small chunk of this. I said that's why I don't buy the special coatings. I don't buy the clear colors. The only, if I take it back, the only clear color I'm interested in buying is I want to buy one of the Master Grade Exia Trans Am. That's the clear color. So they have, I want to say it's a P Bandai, I don't know, but it's the Master Grade version. I say Master Grade because I don't like doing high grade shit, but it's the Master Grade Exia, but it's in Trans Am mode, so it's the like pinkish and purples and stuff, but it's all the clear color kit. I want that kit for one simple reason, and that's because I want to then take the entire kit, that's the only way to get the HE full cloth is through the Build Fighters or whatever. But yeah, so I want to take the Exia Trans Am clear color, and then I actually want to lay LEDs throughout the entire frame, like embed them in the frame to where when you put the armor over the top, the armor itself lights up and glows as if it's actually in Trans Am mode. And that would take mostly just simply like sanding the armor so it's not like a completely clear, and it's more of a translucent, kind of like I did for the plastic and stuff for the goof, to where it disperses the light better. But yeah, that's the only clear kit that I'd actually be interested in getting, just solely for that purpose. But yeah, other than that, I don't like the clear kits. I don't like the special coating stuff. But that comes from someone that like customizes and paints. Those kits aren't designed for someone like me. Those kits are designed for people that build just straight out of box mostly. Maybe with some detail painting. I will say, speaking of clear kits, I have my clear Haro here with the broken hand. It's decapitated right now. It fell off. I haven't taken it apart to get it back yet. And then this one, there's something wrong in the chest. It won't come out all the way. Anyways, my son has absolutely fallen in love with this thing. Anytime I'm sitting at my desk when he's getting ready for bed and he has to come in, he comes in, he gives me a hug and a kiss, and then he has to give Haro a hug and a kiss. That being said, I'm going to turn this thing into a nightlight for his room. So, yeah, there's going to be LEDs throughout all of... It'll be on the outside of the armor, underneath the clear pieces, so that way it glows, and he will have himself a nice little Haro nightlight. So that's what I'm doing with that Haro. I bought that thing just to have a Haro. And it was kind of cool with all the insides and stuff like that after watching Rob build one at one of the build nights. But yeah, so I'm going to turn it into my son's nightlight now. But that being said, I'm also excited because he's 2 and he already likes Haro, which means as he gets older, he's going to want to build Gundams. My daughter already does it. She's kind of growing out of it. She's not getting out of model making. She's getting out of wanting to do Gundams. Her thing that she's kind of her kick that she's been on now is she found this lady on YouTube that takes Monster High dolls and she modifies them and changes them and like dresses them up, but using plastic card and putties and stuff like that. So she'll take one that's supposed to have like a dragon face, and then she will mod it to where the entire body's covered in scales and looks like a dragon and stuff like that. So that's kind of been my daughter's big thing now. That's what she's into, as opposed to building Gunpla as much. But she still works on some. She's working on a HG Build Fighters Momoka pool at the moment. So one second, I need to moisturize my lips. This is Kiehl's Butter Mask for lips. Works amazingly. Dry skin. There's random little plugs there for Kiehl's. I'm sure I'll probably get in trouble for copyright or whatever the hell else, but yeah. Alright, so wings are done. This dude, broken, battered. I feel I need to do just that right there. Okay, I feel better about that now. I don't know, it looked too clean in the corner. Yes, I am definitely manly. My wife works for Kiehl's, so I get all kinds of skincare products. I have nice face washes for my face. I have one that she gave me that she didn't forewarn me that has crushed seashells in it. And so I went in to go use it like a normal face wash, and I just grabbed it, put a bunch of it in my hand, and like scrubbed the crap out of my face. Bad idea. Bad idea. It hurt so freaking bad. I'm missing a skull. Okay. Leg. I'm missing a shoulder pad. And a skull somewhere. Where did you go? Oh, he's still attached. But yeah, and then I have my nice, lovely, super feminine lip balm for my dry lips. Alright, so we're going to make this guy look kind of like this guy. Can't really see a whole lot on there at the moment. Do this. Let's not. Where did that go? I'm super confused. Oh, it's right there. Let's have some panel line on this dude for just so you guys can see what's kind of been done. I like to do this even for myself, just so I can kind of get a judge on where damage and stuff really stands out, especially on white pieces, you know. It's hard to kind of get a figure for it sometimes, to see how once it's painted, you know, obviously these are going to be charred up and detail painted to where they stand out more. So this is a nice way of getting in there and doing the same thing just beforehand, so you can kind of get an idea. So not super crazy, as you can see. Zoom. So not super crazy on it, but there are some. A little bit more down here that I didn't quite get, but I figure these things have been punching people. They're going to be beaten up and battered. Get this thing to screw on now. That'd be my luck. I dumped this entire thing of black ink all over my nice white mat. Alright, focus back in. Focus. There we go. Make sure to hit the transition button. Yeah, so that's nothing super crazy. But you figure these have been punched around. Got a few rounds with Tyson, as Justin put it. You know. Keep dropping everything. I will say, it's not just me, like, being rough with the kit. This kit is fairly loosey-goosey. Like, these guys don't really, at least on mine, like, they don't really stay up a whole hell of a lot. They're not easily attached. They just kind of pop off wherever. The joints aren't super tight. These aren't super tight on there. I did, completely destroy the yep, as I knock over my typical light that I knock over every freaking time. I gotta get that part counter back up. When I reorganized my computer, I didn't re-download it, but I did have to botch the core fighter. Core fighter's completely gone. Basically what happened was when I was sculpting this piece, I had to cut, in order to get the skull to sit the way I wanted it to, I had to cut quite a bit of the chest piece off and then fill with plaster, which is what all the white is. I didn't have the core fighter in the back when I was doing that, and so there's a bunch of plaster back inside there, as you can see, and so the front of the core fighter would not fit in there. Where'd it go? He's somewhere around here. So there he is. This dude, he's supposed to sit like that and slide in. He wouldn't fit all the way in the way he was supposed to. So that got discarded. This piece is going to get slid in here. Then once all said and done, that won't be removed. Sorry, you won't have the core fighter. But yeah. He's a loose guy. Even his leg, like, it pegs in here. It's not super tight when it pegs in. It's still fairly loose. But that'll all be fixed. Will all be fixed in time. That eye patch. I can't believe I actually got that thing to mold and fit around there to where I could still take the side of the head off. That was an accomplishment. That eye patch is actually made with parchment paper and Mod Podge glue. That's what I used to make it with. Alright, on to the other knuckle duster. What are we going to do with this dude? I'm going to start off, we're going to start making some chips. And cuts. You know, the crossbone has an eye patch. I kind of feel like one of these knuckle dusters needs an eye patch. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Screw it. The shoulder's gonna sit up there. This is just a triangle super rough file for anyone interested. Yeah, so Justin, I don't know if you were around earlier. I was talking about it when the stream first started, because I want to have a pirate ship on the diorama, because there's a big portion of it that's going to be like water. So I'm thinking about using a One Piece, because One Piece has some miniature ship models that are about this big. So I'm thinking about using one of those just because they're super cheesy. I want to get the one, if I was going to do that, I'd want to get the one that actually has like the skull and crossbones and stuff on it. Just kind of stick with the theme. Oh, and I just broke it. See that? I just bent the clips and broke it. Good job to me. But yeah, so I was thinking about using one of the One Piece pirate ships. In the diorama. I also rated, I have a big, like 100-gallon Tupperware container full of Legos from when my dad was a kid, and then we added to them when I was a kid, and then my young cousin, who was the only boy in that generation growing up, we added from his. So there's a crap ton of Legos. Like, we have Legos dating back to like the 70s, like 60s and 70s, like some of the first Lego sets ever. But I stole a bunch of the Lego treasure chest, little brown treasure chest, and a bunch of the gold coins. So the underwater cave on the diorama is gonna have a bunch of treasure chests with gold coins and like crowns and gems and stuff sticking out of it. So. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to glue this yet. Oh, I just broke it off completely. So eventually, I'm gonna have to glue it now, especially because I just broke the two little pegs came off here from where they pivot. Because this inner piece slides out, and then this is supposed to fit in, and then it's supposed to slide into the head. To hold these on, but obviously I screwed that. So eventually it'll get glued, but it's not going to get glued until I figure out how I want it to sit on the shoulder, because this piece didn't come completely off, so that's supposed to sit there. Eventually this will get glued depending on where I want it to sit. But yeah, so eventually it'll get there. But yeah, Justin, because I'm getting out of doing commissions. Like I said, I'm sick of working on what other people want me to do, and working on designs that other people want, because I have all these designs and all this stuff that I want to do. And it's not even necessarily do it for me, because I don't necessarily want to keep it, but I want to do it because it's what I like, and it's the style that I want to do. I'm sick of doing. I've done a lot of clean builds for commission pieces. Like, that's 90% of what I do is clean builds for commission stuff. I'll try and over the next week or so, I'll try and get an actual album up on my Facebook of the last like commission pieces I did, because like the last one I sent out was the Wing Zero Supernova. That was complete clean build. And then like before that, I had the RX-78 2 Origin. I had 2 Strike Freedoms. I had a Freedom Gundam and a Strike Gundam, and those were all clean done. And then I had 2 Perfect Grade Banshees, a Perfect Grade Unicorn, a Perfect Grade Strike, and it's all of it was clean builds. You know, it's like it's all clean Ferrari style builds, and that's just not what I like. I mean, I don't mind doing it, and I can do it, because like my Zaku, which was supposed to be for the Colony Drop for Cancer build for Riley's page from last year, I wanted to finish that up. And obviously I didn't finish it for the competition, because I dropped out of it because of complications between I and the people running it after they decided to leave Riley's page. There were some issues. But yeah, I want to get out of doing commissions, because I don't want to keep doing what other people want. I want to do stuff that I like. Like this kit, I'm giving it away. It's going to be Dylan's kit, but I'm doing it the way I want it. It's going to be the way I would do it, as if I was doing it for myself and not doing it with somebody else's ideas in mind, you know? And that's really where my passion is at the moment with model making. And not just with Gunpla. I have some planes and some tanks. I actually have a car model that I really want to do. It's of a 77 Chevy Nova SS, and that was the first car I ever owned. Really want to do that and do a diorama and stuff for that. But all that stuff is going to be for sale, you know. So if people want it, they can buy it. Otherwise, I'll keep it around until someone does. But I'm sick of doing other people's ideas. I want to do my ideas, you know. I want to do what I want, and do it in my time frame. And that's the other thing, is like doing commission work. You're such on it. As I just stuck myself in the finger right there. See it? Safety, kids. I'm sick of being on a time constraint, and like not being able to like sit down at night and go, hey, I'm going to play Sekiro, you know, die twice, instead of doing models, because I have commission work, which means I'm getting paid for it, which means I have to get it done in a time schedule. So not doing commission stuff allows me to do what I want, when I want, and do more of what I want. And then, because a lot of the people that I do a lot of commissions for the same couple of guys. There's like 7 or 8 guys that I do quite a bit of work for. And they don't want me to post pictures on my Facebook. They don't want, you know, they don't want me to stream it and stuff like that. So this, getting out of doing that would allow me to, if I do decide to go, and I could stream more, I can, you know, do more things like Instagram and other types of social media and stuff like that for my model making, and kind of do more of, like I said, just do more of me, do more of what I want. And I have some cool stuff planned for shit that I want to do. Like I said, I have Perfect Grade MK2 that I'm still working on kind of in secret. This project was actually, as Dylan heard me refer to it, this was my super secret, top secret project that I wasn't going to tell anybody about initially. And then I said screw it, because it wasn't going to be done in time. So this was my super secret project that I was going to be trying to do. My next big goal after this is the MK2, just because that's for the competition from Riley's page. For the Ziegler, the Mechanic Core Ziegler. I really want that kit. That's one of the few Mechanic Core kits I don't have. And the one he's giving away is actually one of the special runs to where it has the clear armor and the bonus rifle. So I kind of want that. So that's my next goal. I'm going to concentrate on that. And then I have my aquarium Zygoc style that I'm going to do. It's going to be a Zygoc diorama, but it's going to be a 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot cube of pure resin. The results are more gratifying, a lot more gratifying, you know, when I'm actually doing stuff for me. Plus, I don't feel as pressure. Like, if I screw something up, I can adapt it and modify it to make it work for me. But if I'm doing it for a commission piece and it screws it up and it doesn't allow me to do what the customer wants, like, it really it really puts a damper on it. Like, there's been times that I've had to buy an entire kit again just to fix the one piece of armor or two pieces of armor that I completely screwed up. You know what I mean? So then that comes out of my pocket as opposed to coming out of theirs because I'm the one that screwed it up. Actually, I was thinking it wasn't going to be Jaws themed. It was going to be 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So like sea bottom with the little kind of like base at the bottom and stuff like that. But it was going to be just, instead of it being like a diorama where there's like land and everything else, it was literally just gonna be a 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot wide, 1 foot deep, 1 foot tall cube of solid clear resin with a thin layer of like base for the like the ocean floor with all the foliage and everything else on it. And it was gonna have LEDs. I want to have LEDs and stuff like that in it. So you have a Sea Lab for sale. Like, what was that show on Cartoon Network, like Sea Lab 2020 or whatever? I don't know what it was. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, the Mobius models one. Nice. I might actually take you up on that, man. Yeah, I might have to do that. Yeah, and then like I have my Gundam Wing diorama that I've been wanting to do forever, which is one of the scenes from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz the movie, which is where all 5 of the main Gundams are kind of lined up and Wing Zero is kind of floating in the background. You have all the other ones on, like 2 on each side, and they go to face off against Marimea and her serpents. And then I want to do a big battle scene between a bunch of Leos and the non-Endless Waltz movie version of the Endless Waltz Gundam kits and stuff, which is the baseline that Bandai puts out. You know, I'm doing the Supernova ones for the actual Endless Waltz ones because I like those designs better. But those are gonna be things for me. Obviously, I'm still waiting for stuff like the Supernova Death Scythe to come out and stuff. But it'd be nice to actually be able to get around to doing things like that, you know what I mean? As opposed to just putting them off for years to come. That's a diorama that I've had kind of planned for since I really got into doing Gundam 3-4 years ago. Dude, I'm telling you here, so this guy, look up Luke Towan on YouTube. He does a lot of guides for dioramas. He does a lot of railroad stuff, but I got turned on to him. It was actually Facebook had a random ad and it was for a realistic diorama. And literally the first like 45 seconds of the diorama, I thought he was panning around outside one of his like from an actual convenience store or something, but it wasn't. It was actually a panoramic shot done of his actual model kit that he built. He's the one that got me into wanting to do dioramas. He has full videos of how he does everything that he does, the materials that he uses, stuff like that, and it is just it's amazing work. Amazing work. And it made me realize that dioramas are not that complex. Granted, like after doing the small building and stuff like that for the goof, I realized they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. Yeah, some of his stuff is animated. It moves and stuff like that. Yeah, it's nuts. But it's not. After watching him do stuff and like the way he applies things and the way he does the stuff that he does, you realize it's more of a money investment of getting the right materials. Having a static grass applicator, you know, having the glues and stuff like that, or the materials, is more of where it comes down to. The actual like what it takes to do it is just retardedly simple. And it's like I said, that's what's really gotten me into wanting to do more dioramas. Like I do a lot of static model kits anyways. I don't really like the posable model kits because it makes an issue when coming to painting and stuff like that. It can cause an issue. So I like the more static stuff. But yeah, his stuff is definitely like just very, very well done. I have another guy on my YouTube page, like saved on it, that I'm subscribed to, that I'll look him up and send you a message with his name. The only thing I will forewarn you, so his videos are about 45 minutes long on average. 25 to 30 of it is actual model making. There is a intermission, and it's like a 10 to 15 minute like coming to God, have you found Jesus thing in like pretty much every single one of his videos. You can just skip through it. His actual model making work is really well, like it's really nice. It just has the random, like I said, like 10 to 15 minute coming to Jesus talk in every single video. And I'm not a fan of that. Like I don't need that shoved down my throat when I'm trying to make a model. I will gladly talk that stuff with anybody they want in person. You found Jesus. He was mowing the yard. Like I said, I will gladly talk about that stuff with anybody in person, but I will only ever do it in person. I don't do it over the internet. I don't do it over Facebook. I don't do it over anything. Too many things are misconstrued through text and not actually seeing someone or hearing the way they talk about something, especially when it comes to something like that. Everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone has their own thoughts and processes. And everyone's thoughts and processes and beliefs should be respected in some form or fashion, whether you agree with them or not. Obviously, there's extreme and very rare cases otherwise, but that's one of those things that's always a person-to-person conversation. So the fact that this guy, like I said, every single one of his videos has that in it. I don't necessarily like it, but I like his work enough to where I will still watch the video and then skip over it. I won't watch his live streams because I don't want to deal with it in live stream. But I will watch his videos and I will support him through that. You know what I mean? Like you don't always have to agree with people, but there's definitely ways you can still support your fellow human beings. You know, we're all here. We're all trying to do the same thing, and that's just fucking survive long enough to become the villain, you know? Because we all become the villain in the end. Or if you want to go Donnie Darko's route, we all die alone. Which, I mean, it is what it is. Too much philosophical shit on a modeling stream. I broke his teeth. I broke them, Dylan. They're broken. broke that one too. I'm definitely going to, because I scoured, like, filed right through this dude's eye. I'm gonna make an eye patch for that. This fucker's gonna have an eye patch. That he will. Hey! Thanks for the. Thanks for that. You had the idea for a coffee-sized table Ava Dio. Yeah. I will say that, like, the amount of money that goes into building a diorama. And the funny thing is, it's like, so the one I'm building now, there's a lot of money that's going into it, but that's because I'm buying the initial tools and stuff and equipment that I need to do it. So like static grass itself, if you use your 40% off coupon at Hobby Lobby, a big bag of static grass is only like $3, which is not expensive. Now, if you don't have a static grass applicator to make the grass stand up and look like real grass, as opposed to just like if it was mowed down, those range from anywhere between $40 to $140, depending on which one you get. You know, so that's where the expense comes. I will say, if you're gonna do dioramas and you have a Hobby Lobby near you, don't buy everything at once. Hobby Lobby, on their website, go to their website, look it up on Google, go to their website. They have a 40% off coupon that you can use from your phone, that you can use once a day. Okay? That 40% off gets you, most of their diorama stuff is usable with the coupon. So you go in, like, a pack of resin, like their resin kits that they have for water pour resin kits are $28.95 or $28.99 a piece. But I've been going in and using that 40% off coupon, buying one a day, and you get them at half cost, basically. So you're saving. No, it's one purchase per day per customer. So you can only use it one purchase per day per customer. So you can go in with it on your phone, and like you pull it up on your phone and go in and buy something. If you have Dana go in with you and she has a coupon on her phone and buys a separate item, as long as it's a separate transaction, she can also do the same thing. The whole thing is it only applies to certain items. Anything that's marked as your price, which it'll stay on the price sticker, is not eligible for that. So things like airbrushes, compressors, compressor hoses, those aren't eligible. But paints, which if you're going to do dioramas, don't use expensive modeling paints. Just use crappy acrylic paints and thin them down with Pledge, which you can get a bottle of this stuff, which acts as a clear medium. And this is what I use to thin down like hobby store paints, art folk, shit like that. But yeah, you can get this for like $3 or $4 at Walmart, and then you have a big thing of it. You just thin your paints down and do it that way for your diorama stuff. But yeah, they Hobby Lobby has like woodland scenic stuff and all kinds of other nice stuff that for dioramas. And like I said, you just go in once a day, even if it's something like super tacky glue, which is it's similar to like Elmer's glue, but it dries and it's super sticky and it dries a lot faster. It's only like $3 a bottle, and I still used a 40% off coupon on it one day. Like, if I don't have to pay full price for any of it, why would I? You just have to plan out things ahead of time and go in one day at a time and just buy what you need one day at a time. I will say, don't buy trees. If you're doing a diorama and you want trees and stuff like that, don't buy trees. That Luke Towan that I mentioned, look his stuff up. He has like 10 to 15 different videos on how to make different types of trees, from fern trees to carnivorous trees and like palm trees and pine trees. He has all these different ways of making them, and they're grotesquely cheaper than if you were to buy the like the woodland scenic trees and stuff like that, and they look exponentially better. So yeah, I'm a cheap bastard. Abuse the shit out of that 40% off coupon. Like I said, it's one item per day per customer. So like, you can only use it once. Unless you know when the shift change are. I've done that. Like, you go in the morning on a Saturday, and then you go in right when they open, and you know shift change is going to happen at least 5 or 6 hours later. So then you go in right before they close, and it's a different shift. You can use a different coupon and get something else at 40% off. Like I said, you can't do it with certain things. Anything that's labeled your price, it'll be on the price stamp. You can't do it with that, but their scenic stuff, woodland scenics, and some of their other diorama stuff is not. It doesn't qualify under that, so you can use it with that coupon. Yeah, the other thing you want to invest in is Mod Podge gloss, which is very helpful for making stuff stick down because it dries completely clear. So you can use it to glue down like scenery bits and stuff like that. Pantyhose for laying out ground types. Something else, like that Luke Town guy goes over it. Don't ever buy. So like Woodland Scenic has like the wood chips. They have like a pack that has like wood chips, and they have stuff that has like the dead leaf foliage and stuff like that. Don't ever buy those. Go outside, rip some bark off your tree, throw it through a blender, and then use that. Yeah, so your pantyhose, what you're going to do, so if you want like desert, especially like, or dirt, if you want dirt style like display, go in your backyard, dig some dirt up, run it through a sifter, put it in like a cap for like a spray can, and put pantyhose over it, and shake it over your diorama after you put your glue down, and it will the pantyhose actually sifts it fine enough to where it comes out like actually looking to scale as dirt. Same thing with like sands and stuff like that. If you want sand colors, simplest way to solve that, man, dig stuff up, like dig up your dirt and stuff like that, bring it home, put your oven on 450 degrees, put it on a sheet tray, put it in your oven for an hour. Anything that is alive in there will be dead. That's the way you do it. At least that's how I've done it, just to solve that issue, because like you said, you know, you can get stuff that has eggs and other random stuff in it, so. But yeah, like, because Woodland Scenics has like their sand base and everything else, which can get kind of pricey, especially if you're doing like a large diorama. Go to like Home Depot or something, find one of their coupons for like their 5 or 10% offs for a purchase at Home Depot, or Menards has them on occasion. And what you do is you get the different colored grout. So get like tan grout or red grout, stuff like that, and you use that in place of the sand basing. And it's funny because I've gotten a lot less done tonight than I thought I was going to. Figured I'd at least get everything weathered tonight, but I still got to do the legs. So I still got to do the legs. Like I said, the legs are still very clean. The only thing I've kind of done is I hacked that thing off. But this needs textured. I'm going to texture this to look almost more like wood. Using some Mod Podge and some glue. This piece in here is going to get textured more like wood. But then yeah, this needs all battle scarred. I started doing some battle scarring here, but this stuff all needs kind of battle scarred, like the wings and everything else we've done tonight. And then I still have the arms, which I'm trying to find hands. So the right arm's not necessarily an issue because it's going to be closed around the sword. And so that's not necessarily an issue. It's going to be closed around the sword and then glued, so it all stays. So that's not necessarily an issue because that's going to be kind of like that, and it needs to be wrapped around. But the left arm, the hand's going to be as if it's throwing that dagger, so it needs to be extended. So I'm trying to find either hand in all my other random shit I have in my scrap box that will work size-wise, but I would have to find a second closed hand that works the same, just so it looks the same. Kind of like I did on the Goof, I used some of the full mechanics hands from the Iron-Blooded Orphan line for the hands. But I need to get that, because like I said, I want this dagger is going to be kind of wrapped around the arm, and then this is going to be kind of extended like that, like it's being thrown as he jumps off the cliff. But yeah, so I still got that stuff to figure out. Obviously we got these bad boys done. Yeah, we got the wings done. This one being super destroyed. Yeah, then we got, like I said, the skulls done on this. Nice and extra creepy looking. I feel they look a lot better than the ones that were on there. Like I said, the ones that were on there weren't necessarily bad, and it kind of meets more along with the lines of the manga and stuff. But for what I'm going for, I really wanted those to kind of stand out. So that's where this is gonna be the side that's more visible. This will be in towards the body, but this will be the side that's more visible. So that'll be a good time painting it and making it stand out. But yeah, so that's where we are. I'm gonna get more stuff done throughout the week. I'm gonna try and make sure I record that. I'm making myself get in the habit of, when I work on this kit specifically, making sure I record it so then I can upload at least a quick, 15-20 minute video of updates of this is what I've done since the last live stream, so that way you guys can catch up on it. I want to try and have that up by Thursday or Friday, so that way then you guys can watch that, and then we can get caught up before the live stream on Sunday. So it's not like I went through and finished everything and primed the entire kit and posed it, and then we come Sunday and you guys are like, oh, what the hell happened? So I want to try and make sure I'm filming that and uploading that, especially now that I don't have to worry about jumping between platforms and that kind of thing. Makes my life a little bit easier. I have been working, like I said, on the MK2 competition piece that I have going, kind of on my side time and stuff. But I also have video games that I've been trying to play. Sekiro Die Twice came out. That's the new, if you guys don't know, it's from a company called FromSoft. They do the Demon Souls, Bloodborne, that type of game. And it is very fun. It is very difficult, very unforgiving. Definitely my kind of game. Also been playing Anthem. That's kind of worn on me just because I've kind of hit max gear level and don't have anything else to do at the moment. And then I've been playing Division 2. I'm way behind on that. I just hit World Tier 1. World Tier 5 is max World Tier for progression. So I'm kind of behind on that. So I've been playing that here and there. And then I also bought the entire Assassin's Creed game package. The entirety of it. It's like on sale, it was like $120. It had every game, all the gold editions with the extra DLCs and the expansions and so on and so forth. So I have that to do at some point in time too. But Sunday nights, always here. Like I said, I have vacation lined up for the summer. That is going to be July 4th through, what is it, 4th through like the 14th. the Sunday after the 4th, because the 4th is like a Wednesday, I want to say. That Sunday I probably won't be streaming. Well, like I said, if I do, it'll be just a quick 15-20 minute stream from my phone, so quality will probably be the best. I'll be up at the cabin, so I'll be out on the boat drinking a beer or something. I'll pop on, say hi to everybody, stuff like that. I get home on the 13th, which is Saturday, so Sunday the 14th, which is the following weekend, I should be good to go. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm back. We're doing this, even if there's only 5 of you hanging out. You guys were great tonight. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Justin. Dylan, the other Dylan was in here. Or, sorry, not Dylan. Daniel was in here earlier, hanging out, talking. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys all have a good night. I'm going to go make myself a drink, mend my broken foot. But always remember, build what you love, know what you love, build on, boys and girls, build on.